everyone, this is Sasha bringing you a video tutorial today from BP4U, and today we're going to be talking about importing your photos. And so here I'm in my library module, and I can see all of the photos that are currently in my Lightroom catalog. And so over here is my catalog. I can see this here. Some of my pictures here have this question mark next to them. The reason for that is my photo has either been moved or deleted off of my computer. You can move them within Lightroom, but I chose not to. Therefore, it is considered missing, and Lightroom isn't sure where it's at, but yet I can still see this preview in my catalog because it saves all of those previews there for me that I have imported into my catalog. And so I can also come down here and I can look at photos through my these folder options here. And so these are already in my catalog. I've already imported these pictures. But this allows me to look at just a few things at a time. And so when I look at this up here, this all photographs, you can see I have 448, and it can be a little bit overwhelming. But if I come down here, I can look at just a select few photos at one time. And then when I click over here to develop, I'm only looking at just those photographs, which allows me to kind of clean up my workspace a little bit and not have so much going on at once. So to go ahead and import some new photos, we can come down here to this import button, and we just click on that, and it's going to kind of bring up this new window for us. And so here I can kind of navigate to where I want to import them from. Right now it's having me import them straight from my SD card. But I can come up here and I can do this kind of quick source, and it's showing me some recent places that I've been to, and then it gives me some quick shortcuts here. Like I could go to my desktop, my pictures, my videos, or another source, or I could go to my camera card reader. Another option that I have here is just to sort of navigate through. And so again, I sort of get this quick shortcut. Right now I could click on my SD card and it would give me that folder option, and here we can see that I have to keep going down until I get to the last thing, and I do have an SD card inserted. Oh, right here you can see that it is working, and eventually after it worked through all of those pictures, I would have all of my pictures over here. There we go. Another thing I can do is I can navigate here through my computer, and I can decide exactly where at that I want to see the pictures imported from. For example, I can now navigate to this folder, and now I have all of these pictures over here that I have not uploaded into my Lightroom. And so I can pick one of these options up here as well. I can copy these as a DNG or a digital negative. That would allow me to then go ahead and continue editing my photos in another program that only accepts digital negatives and not raw files. I'm not sure of exactly what programs do that, but Adobe programs such as Photoshop and Photoshop Elements, if you choose to edit in one of those after editing in Lightroom, will allow you to edit in the RAW or JPEG format. Here you can choose to copy the photos into a new location and add them to your Lightroom catalog. Here you can move photos to a new location and add them to your Lightroom catalog. And here you can just add photos to your Lightroom catalog without moving them or copying them anywhere. And this is kind of the default here that I had selected when I had opened up my import. This is what it wanted me to do. And so if I use this add option here, I could come over here to these boxes And I could choose if I wanted to add any of these to my photo while importing. And so here I can choose how I want to render my previews as minimal, embedded in sidecar, standard, or one-on-one. And now here we have this don't import suspected duplicates. Now the one thing that's really nice about this box is that it doesn't just look at the file name, it checks out the metadata. So for example, say you have two SD cards and you're wanting to import the photos off of both of them, and you shot them on the same camera, and so they were both new SD cards when you started shooting, and so they started shooting at the same names. For example, photo 1, photo 2, and photo 3. Well, this import suspected duplicates box is going to recognize that even though they have the same name, that they are different photographs because the metadata is different. Here, you can choose to make a second copy, but again, you have to be like in this copy mode. And then you would be able to come over here and decide where at in your pictures and so on that you wanted to make those, add those photos to put that second copy at. Here, down here, you can decide to rename these files. And so you have these options here, and you can completely edit that and just choose what the file name that you want it to be is. And so here we can kind of look at that, and we can choose, for example, here we've got the file name, and so we can do just the file name or the file name with a number. And so if we do this file name with the number, we can choose how many digits that we want it to be. And we can choose, again here, the import number, the image number, or the sequence number. And you can see as we do that, we're making this up here really large. And so for the example of the name, this would be the name of one of my pictures. And so you might not want something that large, or you might want something that large. And so you can also choose from one of these already preset settings down here. And so we can do a custom text too, and we can say photo, and then we can do, you know, photo 1 of 1. And then here you can see a sample of what your file name would look like down here. And so you have these different options that you can go ahead and you can rename these to. The more options that you go ahead and you add over here, I should go ahead and make a note of, is that it's going to take a little bit longer to import them into Lightroom. Okay, so here we have some settings that you can apply to all of your pictures during import. And these are your presets. And so, for example, if I wanted to apply a preset from the black and white preset Made Easy, then I could pick one of those presets, and I could go ahead and say that I wanted to apply that to all of my pictures during import. And I could go ahead and it would apply that preset to every one of these pictures during my import, or I could click on none. Here you can import the metadata. And so here, if I click on new, it's going to come up here with this box here with some metadata in it. And so I could fill in these boxes with some star ratings, the copy name, some camera info. I could uncheck this box if I don't want to see any of that information in there. And so down here, this is the one that I always tell everybody that you should pay the most attention to. This is your copyright information. So you would probably want to make all of your photos copyrighted. And you could put in, you know, your copyright information there. Oops, that's the @ symbol. And so that would allow you to go ahead then and have some rights to your images because they are yours. And then you can come up here and you can create a preset for that. And you can create that. And so now I can add that metadata to all of my pictures, and it's going to be saved right here for future uploads as well. You can also add keywords to your pictures here. Now if you're wanting to add individual keywords, then you probably want to do that in the library module. This is a way that you can import a group of photos while adding a keyword. For example, if you were shooting a wedding and it was, say, the Smith wedding, then you could make a keyword here, the Smith wedding. That way that would be easy to find later in your catalog. Here you have the second destination, and you can put them in a subfolder, and then you can add the name of that if you so choose. You can organize them by original folders, date, or into one folder. And here you can choose the format of the date. And here you would be able to navigate to where you want that subfolder to be. Moving along on down, we have some DVD and some SD card info. I don't have any kind of DVD drive right now set up. I do have an SD card here in my computer, but most of the time I don't choose to save onto an SD card because I like to clean those off and reuse those, but that's just my personal preference, and you will kind of have your own. Down here we have our thumbnails, and we can decide whether we want really big thumbnails or we can make those really small. And so you can kind of play with that to get a size that fits your needs. You can choose to sort them here by capture time, check state, file name, or media type. Here you can uncheck all of your photos, which will allow you to just check certain ones that you want to import. Or you can click check all, and you can have all of your photos rechecked for you again. Here you can view this into your single view, and you can use your arrows on your keyboard to kind of scroll through your pictures, or you can choose to have them back in grid view again. And again, you can use this to kind of scroll up and down. I can see that there are 23 photos in this. I can look at all of my photos. If I was importing from a folder that I've previously imported in, I can click on new photos and only see the new ones that have not yet been imported. And here I have this destination folder, which will tell me the date that the photo was shot at. So once you have decided everything that you want to do with these photos, I'm just going to go ahead and add it for now. Then you can go ahead and you can click on the import button, and it's going to import these photos for you. And you can choose, before you go ahead and edit your photos over here in the develop panel, you can choose whether you want to just look at just the imported photos, or you can click on all photographs. And once you have decided how many pictures that you want to be included in your develop, then you could come over here and you could click develop, and you would be able to start with your editing workflow. If you decided that you didn't just want to see these photos that you have just imported, but you wanted to see all of the photographs in your Lightroom catalog, then again you could click on all photographs, and all of those would show up here, and you would be able to go ahead and develop those. And if you changed your mind and you decided you didn't want to see all of those, you could just click on previous import again, or you could come down here and navigate to the appropriate folder. So thank you for watching this video tutorial. Happy importing!